sorry for this trouble. So make your microphone off. Yeah, thank you. So this is the, you can say this is the program fragment or program. This is this is a variable. It will taken as a symbol table, and after taking out the symbol table, it only put this ID1, ID2, and this ID1, ID2, ID3 are available at symbol table. And this is the, if you say it's a complete program or the program line, the lexical analyzer, which is nothing but a finite state machine, and it will put like this string only, and next stage the syntax analyzer will make it a tree. That is the job. Let's go to the next slide. Yes, the next slide, it says that lexical analyzer, it is only deterministic finite state machine, and it will create the symbol table. You already explain again and again what is symbol table, and this is the output, just taking out only the bare minimum. All the fancy names are taken away. It will give it like a token. So you can call it a token or lexeme or lexical analyzer or scanner. Excuse me. Just a minute. Yeah. Anybody can talk to me here, please? Anyone? It is visible totally. Hello. Hello. The screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My voice is okay. Voice is
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, great. So this I have already covered. This is, you know, difference between the parser, that is, it is a parsing, top down or bottom up, and this is a scanner or lexer. This is can be done by a deterministic finite state machine or regular expression. So this is a typical question comes, what is the difference between the lexer and parser? These are the things are there. Yeah, this is already know. I'll just quickly go through. This is this all stages. This stage is called analysis, and this is called the synthesis. The more artificial intelligence techniques and all these things will be implemented here. So day by day, your compiler or interpreter will be version change. Like Python, earlier you have 2.7, right now we are using 3.7 or 3.8. Is a more intelligent code is being generated, and the software needs more time. Hardware needs less time for development, but hardware you need say lots of resources anyway. So whenever your software becomes more powerful, your compiler or interpreter becoming more powerful, you need a less hardware. So you just see around 50 years back we need around 50 or 100 supercomputers, but you hardly need now a supercomputers, because all the low cost computers can be piggyback to each other, and your software is so intelligent. Like in the case of Google or Facebook, they hardly use they hardly use the very air conditioning element. They low cost air conditioning, they manage the data centers. They generally make the data centers is very cold places, so there is a less air conditioning. So that's great. And this is a kind of a symbol table. I repeatedly told that the symbol table, it consists of all symbols, all its scopes, and integer, what is scope, even the function values, the parameters, everything is there. If anything wrong is found, so you will get the syntax check error there. Okay, so that's it. And it's symbol table. How to make a symbol table realizable is generally maintained. Maybe a single symbol table, maybe a linked symbol table, but in any way it should be like in a kind of a dictionary form. Whatever you show in the Python dictionary, you know, there should be no order. There should be key element, and the key is the symbol ID, and the values will be the always other details. So that's the symbol table. Okay. So this I have already covered. This is one of the most interesting slide. I wish to cover the next Saturday. We must start the parsing. Parsing is the name is says that ultimately what you are getting on the programming languages, it's a bunch of codes, and these codes are consist of terminals. What are the terminals? It may be integer, floating point numbers, string is also terminal. Anything is a bunch of codes. Now the job is lexical analyzer to put it in tokenized form. Even after tokenized form, it is again a series of tokens. Now we have to find out whether there is a meaning or not. So whether we get the S symbol from this string, so that and that is also we should get it in one unique way only. So if we can find the S symbol in multiple ways, then we will say it's ambiguous. We say it will ambiguous, we cannot say. So that is the reason the parsing, how to do the parsing. So we have already told, little bit discuss about the top down parsing. Top down parsing is very easy. From the string, from the left hand side, if you check your symbol, you can quickly guess which rule can be. See if your production rules, your context free grammar, we have two famous rules. One is Chomsky's normal form, another is Greibach normal form. What is Chomsky's normal form? Chomsky's normal form says left hand side should be only one variable, right hand side should be only two variable or a single terminal. Okay, that's the Chomsky's normal form, and all context free grammar can be put to Chomsky's normal form. And another form is Greibach normal form. Greibach normal form say any context free grammar, left hand side a single variable, right hand side should start with a single terminal, and left hand side any number of variables. Okay, or the left hand side is single variable, right hand side is only single terminal. So you see from these rules, it is very easy if the grammar is follows the Greibach normal form. By looking at the left side of your terminal, you can guess which rule we can fire. Maybe you fire a misfire. There may be they starts with the A. There are two rules starts with A. You can fire a misrule. Then you can always backtrack. No, we cannot go further. We can come back and see another rule. So that is called the backtracking algorithm. This is because of backtracking. Backtracking, it is not good for, it is takes time, is a complexity is time, but it is a one way to this solution of parsing. So, but if you think of S grammar, there is no chance of backtracking. S grammar is, what is S grammar? Simple grammar. S grammar is that kind of context free grammar rule where it will starts with a terminal and ends with any kind of variable, but it starts with that terminal, there should be no two rules. So whenever you look at the string, from the left hand side, if you look at the terminal, you can easily know which rule to fire. That is, definitely you can parse the string with the ON time. That's the simplest. But okay, but the problem is, AS grammar you can hardly represent any useful language. It is good to parse, you can make it ON, but our language, our language should have infix notation, but we already told the postfix notation is good for postfix, or prefix is good for computer. Why? Because computer doesn't need brackets. Brackets is extra burden for them, but we human think brackets are very good to our neurons, but computers is not made of neurons. The neural computing is not there till now. So that's the case. We'll follow the top-down parsing. Then the backtracking is we'll say no, it is very complex. There is a predictive parsing. What is a predictive parsing? It will always look ahead only one symbol at a time. Its current symbol and look ahead the next symbol and takes the decision upon it. This is very interesting way. And if you have only look ahead, say if you can have a Turing machine, it solves only current symbol, that's all, and the next symbol either left or right. So that can solve all solvable problems. So, but we can see, we have to not see to the end of the road what is happening. So in the compiler also, if the current symbol and the left symbol, next symbol, if it looks, then it can find the rule very easily, and that is called the top-down parsing with predictive parsing, and predictive window is 1. And we will see if a predictive window is 2, parser will be more powerful, no doubt, but minimum it should be, predictive parser should be 1. We call it as the LL1 grammar. We'll discuss what the LL1 comes and why LR1 comes. Same equivalent is come from bottom-up parsing. And the difference between top-down parsing is top-down parsing always try to get all the strings matches to the start symbol looking from the left hand side and try to left hand side and try to get the rule which matches left hand first. That is top down. And bottom up is I get the string, I look at the right hand side, right side like Urdu language, and I try to match all the rules and get to the S. So if a particular string, if I came a left to right or right to left, I should come to the same parser tree. I cannot have both two parser trees, same parsing trees. If it is comes to, then it is ambiguous grammar. So these are the very interesting, and most of the parser is LALR parser. Nowadays our Java, C, Python. So we have a individual projects on this kind of parsing techniques, bottom up parsing, and this is the parsing I will cover next day. I will try to make a good note onto it. So, but parsing is very interesting, and with the only stack only, with a stack and manipulating stack, how you get back your parsing tree, that is very interesting. Next slide. Yeah, this is I already this one is a finite automata. This everything you know. Yeah, this is you everything know. This is a grammar, all this thing. This Chomsky's hierarchy. I think I can take some question now. Let's be interactive. Any question on anything? Yes, it is. Am I audible? I am not visible because I am recording from my side, so my camera is not there. So, am I audible, please? Yes, anyone, please? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can any question? Any question? Or you can tell me how is weather there at your place? If any question on your compiler or anything. Yes. Anirban, Srishti, Atrey. Atrey, I am not getting response from Atrey and Orietri. Nisha. Any question? Make your microphone on and ask question, please. Yes. Nisha, Orietri, Anirban. Please, anyone? Are you getting me? Yes. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. No question.
No question. What's your name, please? What's your name? Anirban?
Yes, sir.
So why can it be no question? That means you are not reading at all. There should be some question. Ask the question. Anything. Are you feeling it is boring? Tell me. This is so interesting. If it is no question, then you have not understood at all. I am sorry. Ask me question. I am trying my level best to make you interesting because we are not meeting each other. We are making presentation. We are making video recording, and again I don't know whether you are seeing or not, and I don't trust this recording. So you please ask question. Without asking the questions, Anirban, because I am not seeing it.
Yes, sir.
No, any তোমাদের কি question আসছে না কিছু? Any question you can ask. Maybe syllabus, what is the first class test? You can ask the question. I cannot generate questions. That is the thing. I can generate the question. Please try. this is one interesting diagram I always say. This is called deterministic computation. This is non-deterministic computation. Non-deterministic computation is very costly to build, but fortunately it can be proven. Non-deterministic computation in finite state machine, it can be converted by algorithm to deterministic computation, so that any non-deterministic finite state machine can be converted to deterministic computation machine, and it can be solved. So we don't think, but it is sometimes non-deterministic computation you can represent quickly, but same is not for push-down automata. Here the non-deterministic computation has more power. That means it can solve more types of problems, and so that problem solving, no, it is not realizable in hardware. Maybe in quantum computing it can be, but it cannot be realizable. So non-deterministic computation, it is our programming languages should not have non-deterministic context-free grammar. So it will be all deterministic context-free grammar, because anything you express in a language, that has to be run on a machine and matching machine. That machine should be a deterministic PDA. So, but again you go to non-deterministic. If you go to the Turing machine, non-determinism doesn't add any power. But in case of a linear bounded automata, what is the Turing machine, with the both sides is bounded, then probably non-deterministic computation has more power. So these are all the active research field. Still now, it is still now not solved. The automata is one of the interesting area, and another extension of automata is formal language this compiler. Very interesting area. Newer and newer language comes. Why the Python is so popular than Java now? That is interesting. Can anybody tell me?